Sarah. My friends, welcome back. Oop, okay. No, my mic was on. I wasn't sure I put it on. My friends, welcome back to the game library, where we give a voice to the voiceless games. My name is Martin, and as ever, I would just like to start the stream off with a single question. Have you played any good books lately? I surmise that we are about to. I haven't played this game ever, but we are beginning our playthrough of The Witcher, the first in the series. I've been very much looking forward to this playthrough. I've really only ever done like a quick 5 minutes in this game to see the art style and everything like that. I haven't spent a lot of time in this universe, so I'm looking forward to really doing a deep dive, and I did do some modding prior to the stream because I heard that this game is notorious for crashing. So I put in a mod pack that is supposed to improve that crashing issue, at least on PC. Well, so Dragon, that is actually kind of what prompted the question of the day, because the Witcher games were really what took the Witcher books to the next level. And this idea of games kind of rising to this new zenith of media is something that I found pretty fascinating. So the question of the day isn't directly that, but it is something that I'm curious about. I'm curious about what games people feel have had the most impact, not just in their personal lives, but in media more broadly. Jerkops, Necro, Dragon, Dev, Yuki, welcome in everybody, and anyone else who I missed, I do apologize. I just don't see you in chat right now. But thank you all so much for tuning in for the first in this new series. Now, for those of you who have missed the question of the day, games are now the largest form of media consumed. What is, in your view, the most impactful game that contributed to this rise? The Twitcher. Now, I would say that if I was playing The Witcher 3, because that is still a very, very popular category. A lot of people still play The Witcher 3. The Witcher 1, for some reason, doesn't get a lot of love. I think it's before the actual, I guess, modality of The Witcher in gaming kind of got fleshed out by The Witcher 2 Assassin to Kings. I have played that game. I do love that game. I haven't really spent a lot of time in this particular Witcher game. Doug Cockle, the VA for Geralt, had mentioned that he wasn't aware of who Geralt was as a person until he got a hold of The Last Witch, which had released during the development of Witcher 2, at which point he saw a different side of Geralt, and he was able to add more personality into him. Yeah, I'm very interested to see. Now, what I'm really curious about is, does The Witcher 1 give rise to the popularity of the books in North America, or is it The Witcher 2 that you really see that kind of ascendancy happen? And if The Witcher 1 does kind of give rise to that, I'm very curious as to why, because from everything that I'm reading, it sounds like not many people appreciate this game in the modern era, which is strange to me if it actually gave ascendancy to an entire book series in North America, which The Witcher was very, very popular in, I believe, Poland. I believe Andrzej Sapkowski is Polish. I believe he's Polish. It got hate for the combat. It was the main turn-off. I see. Bogu, welcome in. Oh boy, yes, The Witcher 1. The Witcher 1. Osax Nimloth, welcome in. I'm gonna call you Osax if that's okay. Actually, I believe I called you Nimloff last time. We'll see how I feel as we go. Do you have a preference? That'll help. That'll help. Yeah, so I'm definitely Omloth. All right. I see you. I see how you roll. Witcher 1 is in some areas superb. It allows you to actually be Witcher with all the learning, preparation, and how oils and potions work. Is it also janky? Of course, but janky full of love. You know what? That is something that we kind of talked about this during a previous Daggerfall stream about perfection within games these days, and what I find interesting is that the people who are most passionate about games are passionate about games that aren't perfect, games that have very obvious issues. You know, you could argue, and correctly I would say, that every game has flaws, every game has problems, but what I find interesting is that, I don't know, for example, people who love, well, we did a Daggerfall stream, so people who love Daggerfall, I would say that those individuals really, they're not gaslit when they're saying they adore that game, but they're very aware of the issues that Daggerfall has, but they love it anyways. But you don't see people arguing with the same ferocity when it comes to games like Call of Duty 5. And I find that interesting. It is, as Nimloth is saying, it is like, there's a personality, like, this is a good way to put it. This is a very good way to put it, I would say. There's a recognizable humanity that we can observe when we see flaws in things. We like having things that other people made. You know, it's the difference between owning a notebook like this and something like this, something that was handmade, right? Holding this, you can feel the soul of the thing. And I think that is the same with video games. We like having things that feel organic, for lack of a better phrase. Things that you could tell humans were trying to work out the bugs and the issues, but they didn't quite get there. And I think that as games get better and better and better and better, you're getting less of that in the games that we're consuming. And we had a great conversation, and it went everywhere from the length of the games to the art style of the games, everything. Witcher 1 is janky, but it is charming for its time. I'm curious if that future remake will capture the same charm. Well, yeah. Yes. To put it to words, I think that as we flesh out QOL features and just make fidelity kind of the supreme focus of games, would you like up? Oh my goodness. Okay, come on. Ugh. Ugh. She just wants on the lap. She just wants on the lap. She cannot help herself. I dare them to include the very same cards as the original. I already feel their fear. I play a lot of janky old games with a lot of flaws, and I love them because they're They're charming, but I've come to kind of worry about a lot of modern indie games trying to intentionally and artificially have jank in an attempt to have that soul of PS1 dungeon crawlers, etc. Yes. I think we see this a lot with the pixel art style as well. Games, Squish, welcome in. I hope you're having a great Friday. Yes, happy Friday. Quinn says happy Friday as well. Hey, is that happy Friday? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So yes, I think that is a very significant risk, and I think that this is, when I say that I'm, you're such a brat, when I say that I'm against remakes, not necessarily out of hand, but I worry about every single one, and that's exhausting. That's really a big issue that I have with all these remakes that are happening right now, is I just worry about them. I just don't want them to suck. And luckily, in the case of remakes like Resident Evil 4, and actually, frankly, every single Resident Evil remake has been very good. But I think that these are things that I worry about, and I just, you know, especially with games that don't have problems necessarily, I just don't feel we need the remake. I don't feel that it's necessary to go over trodden ground again. I think that if you really want, you know, another Resident Evil game, you could just... I'm sorry, did I stop petting you? You know, if you want another Resident Evil game, I mean, they are doing this, which is good, but, you know, they could have just continued to make sequels. They didn't necessarily have to remake games, but in the case of Resident Evil, I do see why they did it. It's to get everything into kind of a unified continuity, both graphically, in terms of storytelling style, that sort of thing. I am glad that the Deus Ex remaster is getting a delay. Hopefully they do involve the original developers and try to capture the original vision. But again, this isn't Night Dive doing said remaster. Yeah, well, so I wonder what you guys think. I was watching the Game Awards, or should I say, the Expedition 33 Awards, but I was watching the Games Awards, and I saw an announcement for a new Star Wars game, The Fate of the Old Republic, and I saw that the director of Knights of the Old Republic was returning to reprise his role in this new game. Now, do I think that this immediately makes the game good? No. Of course not. I'm smarter than that. But I think that it's interesting that, you know, it kind of begs the question, right? Where does the magic come from? Does it come from the direction? Does it come from the point in time the game was made? Does it come from the music directing team? I'm inclined to say it's a combination of everything. So I saw that the director from KOTOR was coming back to reprise his role, and while that interests me, it doesn't immediately fill me with this like, yay, it's going to be brilliant, it's going to be amazing immediately. Question of the day, I feel like Elder Scrolls games had a lot of impact on this. I say this less as an experienced gamer, so I don't know how valid that is, but it was Skyrim and Oblivion that really got me into gaming. I'm thinking of more like cultural impact that brought media like video games to this kind of venerated position that they exist in now. On that note of returning game developers, Tim Kaine has returned to Obsidian as well. It is very interesting to see the KOTOR director returning, but yeah, director or dev, it is not guaranteed to be good. Warped, welcome in. Question of the day. The only correct answer is Mario. That is actually a good answer. My answer is actually Legend of Zelda Ocarina. I'm an RPG guy, right? And Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, I think, really put that genre on the map in a big way. Now, is it the most impactful game? I don't think I have an answer for that. I think Dev's answer is, while a cop-out, kind of valid, because Pong gave birth to video games, right? So, Audie, welcome in. Remember all those great games that were made by ex-Blizzard employees? Me neither. Daikatana taught us not to trust blindly in specific development. Yep. I think sports is a legitimate answer, but also mobile games. Women play significantly more games than men, but they're all mobile, and a majority of games played on console are sports games. That is true. It's funny how... Okay, this is an interesting thing to comment on, I think. Okay, I gotta move. Okay, one sec. Thank you. I'm trying to give you a more stable place to sit, because you're shaking. This dog. I think that Audie is right in a big way. As gamers, we tend to be media blind. And what I mean by that is, I don't know if any of you guys keep up with, like, Twitch politics, but I saw Shroud, who is a prominent multiplayer gamer, so stuff like Arc Raiders, Call of Duty Warzone, that kind of crap, and he didn't seem to think a game like Expedition 33 or Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, any of those games were were worthy of winning Game of the Year. And he thought Arc Raiders was. Now, us as RPG lovers, we can have the same bias. So, in terms of the games industry, games like NHL, Madden, NBA, these are way more popular than many of the single-player RPG experiences that we consume. Actually, by quite a large margin, I would say. And that casual gamer, you have to realize that the games industry sells way more to those casual gamers than they do to hardcore gamers, to us. Do we consume more games per person? Yeah, absolutely. We're hardcore gamers. But that doesn't necessarily matter when you're talking about an economy of scale, because there are more casual gamers than there are hardcore gamers. So they're going to sell more copies of those sports games than they are the single-player RPG experience. It's like effing 80% mobile and casual games, yeah. Alright, yes, with that clarification specifically meaning definitive popular media breakthrough, then yes, Mario was the genesis. Yeah. I think Mario is a very good answer, and just Nintendo in general at the, inception of the games industry. You're being such a brat right now. I just have these two eyes right here, just staring up at me right now. I don't know, I fed you? You've been out? What do you need? Tell me, what do you need? Oh yeah, Ocarina of Time was the one that kicked off my love for RPGs, honestly. Still remembered how terrified I was the first time I encountered the Re-Deads. Oh, the Re-Deads were terrible. Oh, the Re-Deads were terrible. Question of the day. I think that you could argue that Tetris was very impactful to the industry. Not only is the history of how it came to be a wild and fascinating story, but think about how many puzzle games would have come out over the years and how accessible they are due to the console and computer on a handheld device, on a phone, etc.
Hello there.
You know what? Yeah. Back, especially when we had like flip phones, Tetris was everywhere. I didn't have a single device that didn't have Tetris at that point in my life. Hard one, but I'm gonna say the early Halo games, Call of Duty, or Skyrim. All of my shouts overlap in some ways, and that's bringing people together. For example, Halo LAN parties, or Skyrim suddenly making everyone talk to each other. You know, I think that's what really... And I love the early Elder Scrolls games, obviously, but this game right here changed the social landscape when it came out. It was such a social lubricant that all of a sudden everybody who wasn't talking to each other all of a sudden started talking to each other, and honestly, I felt like it healed the world for a short period of time. Like, until, well, obviously it's now like 5,000 remakes and remasters at this point, but me and Daniel are agreeing it's two different questions. Like, there's an answer for what game made gaming culture huge as it is, and then also like casual sports games are the reason it's most consumed. For the first question, my answer is Call of Duty, and Daniel says Minecraft. Minecraft is a good shout. Minecraft is a very good shout, I would say. Just released another remaster, the Switch 2 version. Yep, exactly. Social Lubricant would be a great band name. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Eris, welcome in. Avalon, I saw you pop in as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Okay, would you like down? There you go. What? What? She's just like on right now, chat. Like... What? What is it? Tails are wagging? You're just... Alright. Fine. Ooh. Oh, she got a hair in my eye. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, geez. That is actually really bad. Oh my goodness. Oh. Do a spin. She is so fluffy, she never stops shedding. Oh my goodness. She's so freaking... She is great. She is great. Hey? Can you bark? Can you say hi? Say hi. Say hi to chat. Say hi. Say hi. Go. Toby! Come on, bud. Come here. Lie down. Down. Hey? Good boy. Good boy. You can't complain about things you literally signed up for. It's true, it's true. Quinn, can you lie down? Good boy, Toby. Good boy. There you go, Quinn. There you go. Look, I couldn't just give you treats. You both deserve treats. Howdy howdy, will this be your first playthrough or have you played it before? I've played like 5 minutes of The Witcher. I played like 5 minutes. She's giving you the same face Timber gives me when he demands my full undivided attention. It's a quiet, incessant look. Yes, it is. Toby's just here for the treats. Hi. It's the herding dog stare. You are adorable. And this is why I cannot live without dogs, chat. I cannot live without dogs. They are my absolute favorite thing in the world. I know some people prefer cats and lizards and tarantulas, but I'm a dog person. I'm a dog person. I personally didn't like The Witcher when I played it years ago. I should try again someday. I would 100% wear a I love... Is that a new shirt idea? Is chat requesting a social lubricant shirt? Is chat requesting a books social lubricant shirt? Alright, fine. And I'm actually legit writing this down, by the way. This is how I write my ideas down. Twist my rubber arm, damn it. I have 4 cats. Yes, Audie, and I saw most of them when you were trying to cook Thanksgiving dinner. Which is why I cannot abide cats. Now, actually, okay, you know what? I'm not gonna go there. Because if I had a Great Dane, I know for a fact its head would be right there as I was cooking food. The only reason my dogs don't do the exact same thing your cats do is because they're too stubby-legged. Especially Quinn. Sorry. Cat hater spot. I am not a cat hater. I'm not a cat hater. I like specific cats. Cats that are chill and don't wish death upon me and my ancestors. Those cats, I can hang with. My friend is a Great Dane. It still thinks it's a small dog, but it's nearly as big as my car. Yeah. No such cats. Your words, Bogu, your words. I have 2 cats who are very good boys about the counter. Sophia used to be good until she saw the kitten getting away with it. Yeah. Yeah, you have a young one just getting away with murder, and then all of a sudden the whole pack is just... So you don't hate cats? Then name every breed. Every breed? I can name the breeds I like. I like Siamese. I like Russian Blues. They're very nice cats. I like any cat that looks like Hobbes from Calvin and Hobbes. So orange with stripes. Hey books, and I don't like a dog which barks 20, and that is a fair point. That is a fair point. We all have our crosses to bear, Avalon. All of us. All my cats are super chill for the most part. Only one that's not true is the orange tabby, but I feel like that just comes from orange tabby territory. That's all good, Audie. Thanks for coming to say hi. Chat, could we please get some goodbyes for Audie Bell PT? This is the funniest gatekeeping question I've ever seen. My cats are lovely, for the most part. Alright, I'm going to open up the game. And as I said, I did a light mod. It doesn't change the gameplay or anything. But I did a light mod that is apparently going to help this game not crash a ton. So, we'll see. Oh, that is loud. It's very loud. Alright, and I will make sure, okay, audio sources, we're good. Okay, there we go. Okay, I don't want to miss that exhibition. 1 sec. I'm just trying to get it to go full screen right now. Okay, it doesn't seem... I was wanting to run it in windowed mode, but apparently it doesn't want to do that. Can I still scroll through chat with full screen? I can. Good. Good. The fact Hobbs and Garfield are both orange tiger tabby I'd be curious of your thoughts on Geralt's voice once you hear him, as he sounds very robotic, and it's done quite on purpose given the reboot of the series starting with... Yeah, okay. Okay, I am going to close the game, because there was some interesting exhibition that I don't remember. Oh, and now the game is misbehaving. Alright, Let's go to Task Manager. I heard this game didn't run very well, so... Okay, it's not letting me... Yeah, so the game just isn't there anymore. You may need to display capture it and not game capture if that's what's... Yeah, okay. Personally, I like the distance uncaring... Yeah. Yeah, just the voice of someone who has been experimented on for as long as he has. Okay, because it's not even recognizing the tab anymore. How do I... Can you set the window to specific and then... I'm trying. It's the game isn't open anymore and it's not taking the game off the screen is the problem. Let's see. And of course, Task Manager's on the one monitor I can't access. Yeah, because I've lost a whole monitor to it. Let's try this. And what sucks is you either have to reboot your entire PC or just switch game. Oh, because it worked for a while, and then when you went to play it, it went boom, crashed black screen. Oh, damn. Yeah. Let's... Yeah, like, my computer's not bricked, I just need... Do you know how to get an application that is open in one monitor that I can't access over to another monitor? Because I feel like if I can get my Task Manager, all will be alright. But the Task Manager's on the one monitor where the Witcher game is just right there. Oh, it's actually not even being recognized as a task that is open. Interesting, and also shitty. Yeah, let me try this. So, the problem I'm having right now, so I've got 3 monitors, chat. So I've got 1, 2, 3. And, well, actually I had no issues running Siege of Babylon, which was, anyways. But, 1, 2, and 3. Right now, normally what I do is everything runs off of monitor number 1. And right now, I've got The Witcher just, boom, right there on monitor 1. And it's not open as a game, and it's covering everything on the monitor. That's what I'm running into. Oh, you think it's the most recent window? That would make sense. That would make sense, because Windows tends to ruin everything. trying to think of what I can do here, because I can't even get Steam open because my thumbnail to get Steam open is... Yeah. Like, I just want my window to open in another monitor so I can try and deal with this. I really would prefer not to end the stream while I restart my computer. That would really, really suck. Yeah, but I don't even see it as active task right now. You may be able to switch display to main display, but I don't think that'll help you see things. Yeah, no, it won't. No, because it's dedicated to this display is the problem. One sec. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Yeah, what is going on here? That is super, super weird. Okay, chat, I might have to just restart my computer. I don't think there's another solution here. Unless you guys know how I can get... So right now I have a window on monitor 1 and I need to get it onto monitor 2 or 3. If I can do that, I won't have to end the stream, but... Alright, well, I will be right back. I am just going to restart my computer quickly. NVIDIA should help? NVIDIA. Okay. I know there's a shortcut to move windows as long as it's selected. Okay, what would that be? Alt-tab until you're focused on a different app, and then Windows key and arrows. Okay. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. Alt-tab. Okay, and then Windows key. Windows key left or right. Windows key shift. Windows key shift. Left or right. Windows key shift, left or right. It's not a game feature, it's a Windows feature. Ah, I see. So, Windows Shift. Oh, okay. There we go. That did something. Right. Shift. There it is. Okay. We are good. We're good. Okay. Let's go to... Let's go to here. See what this does. So I'm gonna try and open the game again. I'll see if that does anything. An error occurred while launching the game. Okay. So let's go to Steam then. Oh, yep, Steam looks bricked. Breathes deep. Hell, what are we doing? We are trying to get the game to run. Yeah, chat, I think this is borked. I can't even get into Steam. Like, even Steam is bricked. This is Witcher 1, Sebs. This is Witcher 1. Alright, guys, I will be right back. I just have to restart my computer, and then I gotta get the stream back up. First boss fight, yep. That is always how it goes. Alright, I will be right back, everyone.